iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Well, week 16 has come and gone, and fantasy championships have been won or lost. And I can just tell you, it was some crazy times going on. It was Christmas, late night, about 11:30, and I'm in a league with a friend of mine. We're partners, and it went down to literally the last 49 seconds. We end up winning a main event league by literally 1.9 points. Zach Ertz had to get 2 catches on the last drive to get it done, which he did. And that was pretty exciting. That was pretty exciting. I mean, to have $5,000 come down to that at the end is absolutely crazy. And for me, I could just tell you another big win was coming in second overall in the online championship this year. It was a great season. The guy in front of me really won by a lot. He won by 53 points. The only thing I could say is I didn't have Carson Wentz the last couple of weeks. I had Deshaun Kaiser. I learned a very important lesson. I learned I'd rather have the backup on a good team than Deshaun Kaiser on any team, right? I mean, maybe if I looked at it, if I'd had Blake Bortles, I would have won. So who's to say? But a great job by Jeff Antley, who ended up winning the online championship. I came in second. This guy, Blaine Parrott, came in third. He was right behind me, but he had Zach Ertz, and I had Zach Ertz, and there you got it, baby. There's going to be I'm gonna out-Ertz you. So speaking of Zach Ertz, I want to look at something here because I would think this is going to be. Yeah, I want to look at the draft board. Zach Ertz was going in I took him here. I had the 1, 2, 3. I had the 6th pick, by the way, in the league where I came in second in the online championship. Zach Ertz was my 7th round pick. 7th round pick was Zach Ertz. So, he was the 6th tight end off the board. Would you rather have Gronk? Probably. Would you rather have Jimmy Graham? No way. Would you rather have Kelsey? Maybe. Would you rather have Jordan Reed? Fat chance. Would you rather have Greg Olsen? No way. I would argue that Zach Ertz is the 3rd best tight end in football, and I got him in the 7th round. That's how you win leagues. You win leagues by making bold picks. Do you know in that league, my first quarterback was Jameis Winston in round 11? I took Carson Wentz as a lark in round 15. And I remember at the time going, I guess I'll get stuck with Carson Wentz. Psh, who knew? Now, here's something interesting. I will tell you that if we go back to most every league and we look at the draft boards, we can look at players who we took early who ended up being dogs. For me in this league that I was 2nd overall in the online championship, Doug Martin was my 6th round pick. Guy's awful. And I remember at the time being happy I'm getting Doug Martin. Excited. I passed on Adam Thielen for Doug Martin. Right? I took Kevin White in round 9. He didn't even play a week for me. I took Jordan Matthews in round 10. I could have had Marvin Jones in round 9. I took Jordan Matthews in round 10. I took Shane Vereen in round 13. Look how many bad plays I had. I had a lot of bad plays. But what does that go to show you? It goes to show you that during the year, you have to make moves. So if I told you the rest of my team, right? I picked up P. Ryan at some point, Matt Breida at some point, Robert Woods at some point, Will Fuller at some point, Corey Coleman at some point, right? You've got to make moves. I just think this is very interesting. Here's a world championship team that won. And if I look at the draft board, I promise you, we had the 2nd pick. I took Kareem Hunt over Bell. Regret that one. Jamison Crowder, round 4. What'd he do? I passed up Stephon Diggs for him. Bilal Powell in round 5. Seriously, what'd he do? Took Zach Ertz in round 7, Robbie Anderson in round 8. Marcus Mariota in round 9. Luckily, was able to get Deshaun Watson, who helped, and then picked up Jimmy G later in the season. Procise in round 10, nothing. Lockett in round 11, nothing. Perriman in round 12, nothing. So you've got to look at your team. We all make mistakes when we draft. We all make mistakes when we draft. But if I go back to that team, right? Had P. Ryan in this one as well. Elijah McGuire. Picked up, made right pickups at the right time. So it goes to show you that you can have a bad draft. I'll do one more because I think this is very interesting of how you can screw up majorly and still win. This is the Invitational. So we had pick 10 in this one. Isaiah Crowell was our 3rd round pick. Kevin White was our 7th round pick. Paul Richardson was the 9th round pick. Mariota was 10. Shane Vereen was 11. I mean, look, some dogs. But later on, we got Latavius Murray. Later on, we got LeGarrette Blount. So what you have to do is not panic. Even the best players who win leagues make bad picks. It happens. How about the team who's number 1 here? David Johnson, Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Parker, Joe Mixon. Ugh. Bet you he'd like to do that over again. Seriously, bet you he'd like to do that over again. So if you want to, maybe for a lark, go to your draft board and see your selections and realize how far we've come together in the last 16 weeks. I would bet the top owners have changed at least 40% of their roster. The top owners have changed at least 40% of their roster. You have to. Who can go with their roster one all year and win? That's not easy unless you're in best ball, and then you got like 25 rounds. But to do it in 20, not easy at all. It's really tough. P. Ryan, Jamal Williams, Kenyon Drake, Juju Smith-Schuster. These were all guys who became available during the season. You got to attack, and you got to get them at the right time, and you got to pay the right money for them. Are you paying too much money for them or not? That's another very interesting question. How much money did people pay? Let me see if I can find this info. I think I should be able to. One moment, please hold. Blind bidding results. So if we go back to the beginning of the year, it only goes back so far. I see Wednesday, November 1st. That's not far enough back. Kenyon Drake, $212. Curtis Samuel, $162. We got Jimmy Garoppolo for $25 when we lost to Deshaun Watson. Zay Jones went for $110. Was he worth it? P. Ryan went for $408. That was us. Jamal Williams, $191. This is in what, right? Byron Marshall went for $114. This is who we spent money on. Seth Roberts went for $86. Ricky Seals-Jones went for $74. Right? So people are spending their money on Zay Jones. You got to be careful who you spend your money on too. So a lot of it is the right pickups throughout the season, bidding the right amounts, and seeing where it goes. So lot to be, a lot of things to talk about here. All right, if you are playing in week 17, first of all, don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. All right, Melvin Gordon's foot is in a walking boot, so he's had an ankle injury. So I think he's not going to be, I don't know if he's going to play. Not sure if he's going to play. Could be an Austin Eckler week, or it could be Brandon Oliver. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Also, DeMarco Murray out this week. Could be a Derrick Henry week, as I've been predicting for the last 16 weeks. Maybe we'll finally see it. All right, some interesting storylines here from week 16. First of all, the Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald went 9 for 119. Can I tell you that he probably could have gone 15 for 208 if Drew Stanton didn't suck? I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was open about 5 more times and he missed them. I mean, wide open. I don't think the Giants played any defense on this guy. It was like, hey, it was Larry Fitzgerald's last game. Let's give him one. Larry Fitzgerald turned out to be pretty darn good at his age. Pretty darn good at his age. I want to talk about this for a second. If you had Adam Thielen and you are very bitter right now at him, you are absolutely correct to feel that way. However, wasn't Thielen's fault. They beat the Bengals by a ton, and they beat the Packers by 16 points. They didn't even have to throw the ball to Thielen. He went 5 for 54 in the last 2 weeks. That's terrible. It's disgusting. I get it. But at the same time, they didn't have to throw the ball to him. So that's why it happened. By the way, I want to get back to that Giant Cardinal game for a second. Sterling Shepard, 5 for 45, shut down by Patrick Peterson. I'm telling you this, next year, I'm going to look at the schedule and I'm going to see who the Arizona Cardinals played in week 14, 15, and 16. And I'm telling you something. I'm trying to avoid those receivers who are going to get Patrick Peterson. If I see Julio Jones is going to Arizona on week 16 next year, you better believe I'm knocking him down just a hair on my draft board. I'm not going to say I'm not going to draft him, but I'm going to tell you I'm not liking that matchup. I don't want anybody against Patrick Peterson. He just blankets them. I almost want to say that about Marshawn Lattimore, but not exactly yet. But it's close. It's absolutely close. Guys who surprised this week, how about Eric Ebron? 5 for 83 and a touchdown, 8 targets. The last 3 weeks, he was the most targeted Lion. Unreal. Ever wonder why the Lions have been losing recently? Seriously. Ever wonder why the Lions have been losing recently? How about try to get the ball to Golden Tate? You get the ball to Golden Tate, you win. Just throwing that out there for you. I'm happy for Eric Ebron owners. Now, if you own Todd Gurley, there's a very good chance you're my rich friend right now. Could there have been a better guy in the last 2 weeks of a fantasy football season? No. You know what's even crazier is that one of my teams had Todd Gurley. I had Deshaun Watson with Todd Gurley on it. Oh, baby. That's how good it was. But Todd Gurley was superhuman. But let's give a little love to Jared Goff. How many of you had Jared Goff at the beginning of the year? He's a pretty darn good player. Sean McVay deserves all the credit in the world, too. Goff has 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in the most important week of the season. Marcus Mariota throws for 275 yards, can't find the end zone. I'll tell you this right now, Marcus Mariota is not going to be anywhere close to anywhere higher than my 13th or 14th round pick next year. You want him, you can have him. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. And I want to say this live right now. There's going to be somebody who's going to poo-poo Jimmy Garoppolo as a starting quarterback next year in fantasy football. Let me be the first person to call that guy an idiot. I am absolutely going to play Jimmy Garoppolo next year. If I get him, he's a starter. I have no problem going with Jimmy Garoppolo next season. None. Zero. Nada. Do I put him in my top 12? You betcha. You betcha. Don't even question it. Don't even question it. I want to look here. Let me see. Fantasy football quarterbacks. One moment, please. Please hold. So let's see. Cam Newton, yeah, he's 1. Russell Wilson, 2. Brady, 3. Goff, 4. Roethlisberger, 5. Drew Brees, 6. Are you telling me I can't find Jimmy Garoppolo in the... Is he better than Stafford or Keenum? Dak? Rivers? Winston? Wentz? Who knows? I'm playing him. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm playing this guy. I'm playing him. He's too good not to play. Some idiot's not going to play him. By the way, I don't often guarantee things, but I think I did guarantee a Mike Gillislee touchdown. But I got to tell you this. The most underrated player this year might just be Dion Lewis. I don't even think he was drafted in the leagues, and I have to be one of these two things. And I've got to be one of these guys who didn't do that. So it was James White, it was Gillislee, it was Burkhead, and Dion Lewis was the 4th guy. The 4th guy. And here he is in week 16, 24 carries, 129 yards and a touchdown, 5 receptions, 24 yards and a touchdown. You have Gurley, you have Lewis, you are winning. winning. Unreal. Unreal that he was the fourth out of 4 guys being drafted, and he was the one who ends up winning people a lot of money. Unreal. Seriously. That's why fantasy football, the best team doesn't always win. How about this? I want to go on record with this bad boy. How many weeks did I beg you to pick up Juju Smith-Schuster? How many weeks? Seriously, how many weeks? When it counted the most, 6 for 75 and a touchdown. It's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. Right? Did you wait on him? Maybe you did. Maybe you thought Martavis Bryant was going to be the guy. Maybe most of us did. But the point is this. To win a fantasy football league, you have to be ahead of the curve. A lot of winning a fantasy football league is what I call a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith. You don't know for sure that Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a star. You have to watch it, you have to see, and you have to take a chance. But if you come to the party late, you're spending your $400 of waiver wire money on him. You get to the party early, you're spending $40 of waiver wire money on him. And then all of a sudden he's a steal. Right? Then he's a steal. Get him too late, you may not even get him at all. Right? That happens all the time. I'm trying to think. In one of our leagues where we got him, I'm trying to think. Transactions. Oh yeah, we got him really early in the season. Really early in the season. I'm going to have to go back and figure out when. I don't want to go and waste your time here. But we got him very early on in the season. And I don't know how much money we spent on him. Not much. We got him at the right time. Before anybody else was on him, we got him. I could go through it, but I don't want to bore you here. But all I'm saying is, by mid-October, it was too late. Did you have him in September or did you not? Right? If you have him in September, oh, here we go. One moment, please. Please hold. There we go. Juju Smith-Schuster was an ad October 4th. October 4th. So, one moment, please. Let's see something here. Pittsburgh, and we'll go to the Juju. October 4th was, let's see, probably week 5? Week 4 or week 5? I don't have my calendar in front of me, but that sounds about right. When did you guys get with Juju Smith-Schuster? Week 7? How many weeks can you wait? Got to be ahead of the curve. You've got to be ahead of the curve. That's how you win money. So there are lessons that I want to take with us. Being ahead of the curve. Drafting guys like Zach Ertz in round 7 and getting getting 3rd overall tight end value from him. We've got to, how about this? Did you have 2 kickers going into the fantasy playoffs? Maybe you didn't, but maybe you had Greg Zuerlein, and you know what happened to you then? You had no kickers in week 16. Let's take these lessons now and use them next year. Let's take these lessons now and make money with them next year. Let's be smarter tomorrow than we were today. That's all I can hope for. If we are smarter than we are today, we will be my rich friend next year. Isn't that the goal? And hopefully stay as injury-free as humanly possible. Because we need to stay injury-free. All right, but right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'll be back this week talking about waiver wire pickups, things you could do for week 17. I'm not going to go too deep with it. I may throw in some things that we've learned from this year on top of that. But hey, if you're playing in week 17, first of all, don't be. And secondly, we'll try to get you through it. Okay? I promise. And for those of you that won fantasy championships, congratulations from the bottom of my heart. I hope we here at Scout Fantasy helped you. And if we did, I'm Dr. Roto. If we didn't, that was Sean Childs that gave you bad info. No, I'm just kidding. Sean's awesome. But I hope you did win your fantasy championships. All right. Wishing you a great day, guys. This is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!